Howdy folks, this is Manic Mark, real fake outsider artist, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the art villa found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And today I'm coming to you with a painting. I like to do a painting a day. Sometimes I get up in the morning and I don't feel like doing anything. And some days I get up and I should be doing something else, but the only thing that gets me out of the hole in the ground is to do a painting. Well then, of course, your whole day is practically centered around it. First I thought I'd do a happy painting, okay? So I'm sitting there with this cardboard in front of me, and I'm thinking like, happy, happy, happy. If I just allowed my imagination to take a trip out into space. Usually I'm so grounded. But today I decided to take a trip out into space. So I'm taking a trip out into space, and I find this solar system with an inhabited planet, the third world. The third world's inhabited, and so this is the third world art book. And one of the inhabitants, which is the feature participant in this book, or the feature character in this book, is the Princess JaGeen KaKrapalo. Yes, JaGeen KaKrapalo, that's the name. It's a very alien-sounding name, don't you think? She's, you know, a horribly wicked princess who has special powers of wickedness that she unleashes upon her kingdom, her subjects in her kingdom. And what are some of the powers of? Well, her kingdom is the kingdom of A. That's right. And the symbol of the kingdom of A is the red flag with a white circle with this sort of asterisk shape in it. That's the symbol of the kingdom of A. She wields the implements, the royal symbols of the kingdom of A, which includes the fire flaming staff with the A-hole in the middle of it, the flaming A-hole. And she also has every princess needs a crown. Of course, it's this, you know, it's the same all over the universe, and in the solar system that we're visiting. She's wearing a crown, and the crown has a special, you know, magical jewel in it. And the magical jewel has the powers to reduce your mental capabilities. It doesn't really project, it just sort of, you know, rotates in a small area around the crown. So why she wears it, I don't know, but she does, and whatever comes out of her mouth, the forked tongue coming out of her mouth, reflects the reduced mental powers. The rest of this is a true story, you know, in my mind as I travel mentally through the universe. As it's called, what is that called? Like mental teleportation or something. I know there's a term for it. So there you go. That's the cover of the book. I'm going to turn the page. The ruler, or the king of the planet of A, and the king is referred to by his subjects as the most evil head ruler, as a third world ruler of the good and fair buff people. All the good and fair buff-collared people on the planet bend down and are slaves to the most evil head. That's the name. It's just basically the most evil head, the ruler of the third world in the solar system, is this giant, you know, purple head that sits on a giant cement throne. It's just extremely heavy, and everywhere he goes, he has to use a lot of power to get to where he's going. And on this planet, the currency by which the government creates power for itself to run the giant, massive cement machine is turds. But the turds are all very light because there's a lot of air in them. So they're not really worth much as currency. So these turds are practically worthless. So the government, the most evil head, demands more and more turds with every passing day. So he has the good and fair buff-collared people sort of in this shape of these cookie cutters, tethered to the chair so that they can continually cough up turds that will fire the giant device that pushes the giant pointless cement chair around the planet to wherever he wants to go. This giant heap of pointless concrete, heavy as it can be, burning lots and lots of the third world's turds to get around the planet. A dissenting voice, and that's the orange people. That's the orange people, and they're very much like the buff-colored people, only they happen to be orange. And they're just saying, stop this, I've had enough of this shit. They don't want to cough up any more turds for the most evil head. Just bear with me, because where this is going I have no idea, really. Princess JaGeen KaKrapalo, she doesn't understand, I've written all this up here, why the orange people don't want any more head. They don't want any more head. After all, the good and fair people love the giant evil head. They love to get more head. So they keep voting the evil head, back into power. That the giant evil head mandates that all the orange people be put in a safe area, but for the safety of the orange people, put into a compound that's fenced in with barbed wire. And while they're in the compound, of course, it's understandable to note that whatever few turds they have left, they have no need for. So the buff-colored people patrol the outer reaches of the compound and suck the remaining turds out of the orange people. Whatever the problems are, it's the orange people's fault. So you got to keep them angry, or they won't give up their turds, right? So they give up their turds, but now they hate the orange people. It's your fault. The evil head can't get around in his giant cement chair because you won't cough up enough turds, and we're having to cough up more turds than you. So the evil head says, well, we have to keep the orange people safe. We have to separate them from the good and fair buff-colored people. So they're put into a compound fenced in with barbed wire, just for their own safety. And just to keep the orange people warm, there's a giant furnace in the compound, which occasionally the buff-colored people shove a bunch of the orange-colored people into the furnace. But I always like to. There's always hope, and in every story, there's always hope. This sweet drawing of the orange people and the buff-colored people finally getting together. Oh, wait a minute. The buff-colored people are saying, "I still hate you," and the orange-colored people are saying, "Fuck you." There still must be some tension, hope, and change. And the princess, JaGeen KaKrapalo, they just create more and more, situations in which the turds have to be sucked out of the buff-colored and orange people. So they're made to work very hard, which is why all my orange-colored people and buff-colored people have work boots on, because they're made to work very hard, creating as many turds as they possibly can. One's buff and one's orange look very much alike, and they're trying to get along. The ruler of the third world, I could just fix what I created, what's broken. What I created, what's broken. If you just give me more power to make the fixes, hope that I will change the thing that I created that's broken. So in the end, you've got this bizarre world that I really wouldn't want to go visit or live in. And I don't know about you, but that's the way I feel about the third world. I wouldn't want to live there. It's just wacky. It's a wacky planet. I must admit, I hardly understand what I've done here.